kyllä vähän heijastaa ikävästi. Se on aika syrjässä kyllä. Parempi, jos olisi tolla puolella olisi kello.
Joo, mä näytän TREXejä sitten katsotaan. Joo, me oltiin viime kerralla kanssa täällä ja sitä aikaisempaa kertaa perättiin, että saatiin hyvää palata. Näitä on saunaa nähty.
sorry to say I'm so bloody old. But again, 1993 we started with Quadratec, this kind of solution, and that was acquired by a company called Lucent. Well, as you can see from my name under there, Alcatel-Lucent, naturally named this company afterwards. It was a long time first market leader doing real enterprise solutions, carrier solutions, and Lucent even promoting more inside of Vital family for this one. 2005, first to market to do IPv6 IPAM. Yes, we did it. We came to IPv6 forum member. We did networking portfolio to support IPv6, and it was working fine. And I can tell you that we was the first one to provide IPv6 IPAM management in a real life. When IPv6 started to evolve, it was evolving over time, and finally at 2012, we got the second generation IPv6 IP address management solution. That means that now we can provide you dual stacks. In the first release, honestly, it was either or. You had to choose what you were doing and make it two different systems. But in 2012, we started to do this kind of dual stacking solutions. Now, 2014, we have a really good IPv4 DHCPv6 failover solution. It's meaning that now we have a multi-threaded, carrier-grade, really nice solution, what has been used by many major carriers in the world. What is this IP? It's pretty simple. It can provide you with DHCP, but you can actually pass your DHCP configuration, servers, and just check that they are valid. Also for DNS servers, you can check that point servers, they are up and running. We can manage, we can discuss, because we support all point versions, what is available. And as far as I remember, it's point version 9, but I can't remember 9.4, I think it was the latest. We can support that one. ISPs solutions, yes, we can go for those ones, we can support them. Microsoft. So we have multiple solutions where we can actually support and make a contribution to the servers. We can get information, get statistics, and by this way you have a really nice Vital IP solution in the middle where you can see all this address space usage, devices, users, locations, software. By the way, our DNS and DHCP and DNS will cost $0. What you pay for is IP address management, nothing else. We give for free DNS and DHCP management. And when you install it, remember, we are not limiting hardware. You can take all the benefit out of your hardware, what you are installing this system to. Or you can use, of course, our really performant appliances. By the way, we are using Dell appliances, and we have just so-called limited hardware support included to our pricing. Actually, you have to buy it separately if you want. But again, we can just give it really freely. So if that's an option for you, but again, I mean, many of you have it, but again, we can provide you this kind of hardware support even that they are coming and replacing the device if it's getting broken, and that's part of our appliances. Also, we have to remember that we've been doing all kind of performance testing for Vital IP, and nearly all the time, we are just getting as a winner, and really well winner. Reason being that what the other vendors are doing. When we are thinking about leases per second for DHCP, they are actually just limiting this hardware. They have a really low limits in home appliances, and if they don't have it, they are saying that you must have this kind of server, this kind of operating system, this version, and it's not totally open. On the other hand, this lease auditing, remember, it's really important. Think about DNS 6.4. It really requires this auditing as well. So it has to be available. Reporting features, absolutely. Think about RIPE is pushing you over time, DNS server. So it's meaning that if you have these ISC bind-based solutions, yes, please use them. We don't just restrict you. We are providing you a really nice IP address management tool. You can use them. We can connect to those ones because we are backward compatible from version 9 backwards all the way down where it's needed. even if it's security vulnerable version 8 of the bind. Microsoft DNS servers and naturally security features are recognized. DNSSEC, DNS views, DNS 6.4 is supported naturally because we want to make dual stacks. And not but the least, remember enum. Enum is coming, and we have a support for that one, and actually there is a project already going on for that one, just to let you know. DHCP. There is, of course, Microsoft DHCP support, and naturally we have a failover features, meaning that we know all the active leases in your network. Should it happen that some servers are going down, naturally we have a heartbeats going between servers and we know the status and we can easily replace and do this file replication for those ones. Fast, nice, good solution. IPAM. Like I've been telling already during this presentation many times, right business demanding these reports. Yes, we can do it. And by this way, we can have this network subnet object management also, meaning that we can type and make more addresses per device. So remember, dual stacking is important. Cloud-based. It's a multi-tenant solution. You are building these cloud solutions everywhere. Everybody's building cloud solutions today. Of course you want to provide something from cloud. You want to provide IP address management from multiple locations. And also have databases also are synchronizing each other. So by this way, the cloud-based solution is important and have really scalable solution and single clear architecture. And also remember these unrestricted virtualized services because we don't reveal restrictions for CPU, disk, and memory. Also, we are just approaching now SDN. Well, my colleague Sami will talk to you more about today about SDN, and he will can go and just tell more how we can handle that one. But again, for example, the Nuage is part of our platform, what we are talking about today, and this new IP address management, what is we have, is also part of the SDN solution, remember. And last but not the least, Open API. You must be able to use your IP address management, but you don't need to do everything from scratch. It has to talk with systems to each other, and that's exactly a must. This API toolset, having XML, SOAP interfaces, APIs, what you can actually just program, it's absolutely a must. By this way, remember, to get a good control speed, you must have a good solution where you can manage your IP space, thinking that there's a DHCP, enum, DNS, and plan everything and push these configurations to a remote DHCP DNS servers easily. Also get reporting out of them. And also, VitalQIP can ensure that your configuration is correct in your remote servers. If they are not correct, you know what is the situation. It's sort of tricky. And this situation has been seen in this country too many times. Also having the delegation that you must have a different kind of profiles for users. You must have admin profiles. You can have just only just system administration profiles, whatever you want to mention it. But again, the profiles where you can see what is a configuration, but you don't change it. Yes, that's important in a system. Also thinking about security part. If you haven't implemented DNSSEC in your DNS solution so far, please think about it and seriously think about it. Also this GSS, TSIC, is also just for cache poisoning, DNS cache poisoning. And that's another solution, but again, some sort of security mechanism must be available in DNS. Scalability is important. Depending what kind of solution you have, you must be able to do this kind of carrier class scalability, because otherwise you're going to be in a deep shit at the end. And evolution, like I mentioned, we've been starting from IPv4 going IPv6 all the way to SDN, thinking cloud-based solutions, everything. So that's exactly the evolution what you must have in a software vendor who is providing this kind of critical services. I don't want to mention what our company names who are providing alternative solutions, but again, do they think about something like this for long term? You can discuss with them. But again, that's what I have pretty much to say about VitalQIP, but here you can see, this is Mr. Timo Mannonen. Timo, can you raise your hand? That's there, that's him behind there. Should you know more about this one, please contact me or Timo. We are here for the whole day, and we are happy to tell you more about this one. NetNordic is actually selling our solution from Finland, and they are selling all this VitalQIP sales and also support, where you can get installation support if you need, and they have really good technical guys who's been trained to install and maintain these solutions. Coming to the pricing, yes, contact Timo, because he can give you estimated pricing for that one, and by this way you can get started. And last one is questions. Should you have any questions? No, I don't think so.
For asking questions, there's this one mic here where if there are a lot of questions, you can queue up to ask your question, but I can, of course, if you are somewhere behind everyone, then I can try to run to you with the microphone. But
looks like there's no questions, and by this way I will say thanks by NetNordic and Alcatel-Lucent. Just I will say thank you and have a nice seminar.
yes, and thank you. Okay, so the next presentation is by Klaus Nieminen from the Finnish Communications Regulatory Authority. Give him a big hand.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Klaus Nieminen from the Finnish Communication Regulatory Authority. And my topic today is the National IP version 6 launch. Is this open? Better? Okay, seems to be. Well, first of all, we are occasionally asked to regulate the IP version 6. Last time I had a phone call around 1 week ago. But it's not the way we want to do it. I mean, we could actually have a power to mandate operators to provide IP version 6, but it's not really the way the legislation is supposed to be used. So I'm now going to tell you about the mechanism we are trying to use to get the IPv6 into the use in Finland. And well, first of all, we have been talking about this protocol for something like 15 years by now. And I got a responsibility for the National IPv6 working group just 1.5 years ago. And we decided to do a recommendation. This recommendation was published this spring, and it's about some guidance how to implement IPv6 into the consumer broadband subscriptions. We know that the operators most likely have quite good support in their core network, and they can provide IPv6 for enterprise users if there's a request for that. But what we are now trying to get is to have the IPv6 into a large-scale use, to get that into the consumer subscriptions without any this kind of special request for those consumers. And well, what we have been seeing by now is that the IPv6 is increasing. Around, it was one and a half years ago around. From that, the IPv6 traffic has increased 3 times. So there are something happening globally, but in Finland there's no no real movement happening. And well, we have now the recommendations for operators, what to do, how to do it, and we really want to get the deployment going on. Well, the recommendation is unfortunately available only in Finnish, so sorry for you who don't understand that well. But other people, you can probably try to Google the name of the recommendation, so you can find it quite easily from our website. Okay. It's not all. Just publishing a recommendation, that doesn't really help. We can hope that the operators do their job and take that into use. Well, I don't believe that's enough. So we decided to have this kind of the national launch next summer. Well, first of all, we need some time to prepare it. And of course, the operators and other participants that are content service providers and web service providers, we have two categories there. They need some time to prepare themselves. So we are going to have the launch around, it's actually 1 year from now, exactly. And well, our main target is the broadband service providers, but we hope to get big content service providers and the web service providers to participate that event well. Well, for example, we have been discussing with a few big players, but the project is still this kind of the preparatory phase, and we need some work still to do to get that launched. I think we'll probably get out in September or something like that. So in the autumn, there will be these websites that will publish the guidance how to participate the event. There will be a list for the participants. And of course, we try to get also some publicity for those companies who want to get in. So, well, now just a few words about the requirements. I wrote here the list for the broadband service providers. But, well, as you can see, it's not that much. Of course it's much, but let's say that we have information from a few of our broadband service providers that they are ready to do this. Well, there are actually a few providers providing IP version 6 for consumers. Well, most of they don't. And it's, of course, mainly due to the teaching the personal, but also the access network problems to actually have that deployed for all subscriptions. And I know that there are, for example, companies who have old DSL boxes there. So it could be the 6RD that will be used in that scenario. Otherwise, we are recommending to use native IPv6, and that's mainly, I think, possible for the fiber networks, maybe mobile networks. So we want to have the dual stack in place, and we want to have that there without the consumers to need to do anything. So it's not something they are going to come and ask that please give me IPv6. We all know that these have to happen, and I hope we can do it next year. So please deploy the IPv6 into your network, to your consumer subscriptions, and have it on permanently. That's our requirement for the launch. And of course, you have to prove it. So, well, to get listed into the website, we want to see your product description to see how you've been doing it. And we want you also to have the IPv6 forum certificate to prove your readiness. And you have to do this by the end, 8th of May next year. Of course, we want you to announce your participation earlier, but you have to have this ready in May. And we had a bit similar requirements also for the web service providers and content service providers. They don't, of course, have to have this kind of the subscriptions, but they have to get the IPv6 forum certificate for their own website, what will be used in the launch. And we know, for example, there are now, I think Iltalehti.fi, for example, that has the IPv6 in their network or in their website. And we hope to get, for example, Yle to participate that as well. And I hope that every one of you actually can participate with their own website. So it's possible for everyone to have part of this task. But we also want to have this kind of the cooperation event. So if there are this kind of the non-commercial entities who want to participate in the arrangement of the event, for example, well, of course it can be a commercial one too, but for example, TREX, Physics, IKI, ISOC Finland, whatever. So if there are this kind of the parties who want to take actions to promote this event and help us to get this event to be successful, so please contact me and we have a discussion later on. But I think that was the main ideas and points I wanted to share. So there will be a launch, and there are more information available in the early autumn. Thank you.
Any questions?
Hi, I'm Bill from Tampere University. Do you have a roadmap for when you are thinking about IPv6 launches for wireless broadband networks?
Thank you for the question. We are hoping to get the launch for the mobile networks as well as fixed networks. So I truly hope that we will have some mobile operators also participating in the event. So there's no special roadmap for different networks.
Any other questions? Well, you can talk to Klaus all through the day as well. Thank you, Klaus. And next up, it's Rugged Tooling with Risto Kauppi and Hannu Saarenpää.
No, hyvä. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hi, Mom. So, dear audience, ladies and gentlemen, and innocent victims, who of you noticed the news of the huge denial of service attack against Estonia a few years ago? Or against South Korea last year? Many did. Who of you have ever been involved making denial of service attacks? Just to keep your hands down. Well, I have. We are Rugged Tooling, a software company creating testing tools for IP network equipment and services. We do for IP traffic, which is basically, you guys know, it is internet traffic for services like voice over IP, video, ticket services, Facebook, stock exchange, internet security, you name it. We do for IP traffic what a pressure washer does to water. You know, the problem with testing IP network equipments and services, already in a laboratory I mean, is the lack of IP load and load shaping. And to fix that, we can use any pre-recorded IP session and multiply it up to millions of different sessions or uses, even to the level of denial of service attacks. And in addition, we can shape that IP traffic to look like it comes from the live network where you plan to deploy your system, to wash away even the toughest bugs. I bet that most of you guys and gals have never heard of rocket tooling, but we have customers in several continents, as far as in India and China. And what we are asking, next time when you plan to acquire, buy some new load generating tools or IP deviation tools, come to check us out too. We have won several competitive biddings, and our public customers like Nokia, former NSN, Ericsson, Exfo, they don't buy for fun, I can assure you that. So, I am Risto Kauppi, CEO of Rocket Tooling, and now let me introduce Director and Technical Guru Hannu Saarenpää. Break a leg.
Okay. Okay, Hannu Saarenpää from Rocket Tooling. I'm responsible of sales and product management. And let's take a look first from where we are coming. We are Rocket Tooling, Oulu-based company. We have really strong experience in telecom, especially in mobile network world, and this is also quite well visible in our product offering. We are mainly selling products to the customers as a product investment, and then customers are using them by own, and we are supporting them. Parallel of that, we have also second business model where we are basically selling services and testing results together with our existing partners, and that way customers are not always mandatory to buy testing tools, and we are basically selling testing results to the customers. That's the outline of my presentation. First, I'm going to talk shortly about a Rocket IP loader generator called RUGE, and then after that also a Rocket deviation emulator called RUDE. At the end of this slides, I'll explain shortly our demonstration, which we are showing in the reception during the breaks. We are basically demonstrating both of our main products. Besides of that, we have also third product line, which is left out in this presentation, but that is basically for capturing area. This is maybe not main focus of today topics. Our tools and testing solution always needs Ethernet IP connectivity. This is the main point. We don't have any radio frequency connectivity. It is always mandatory to have Ethernet IP connectivity either with the optical or copper interface. We are clearly positioning ourselves to software house testing tool equipments where our competence is clearly software. We are not developing any hardware. We are just using existing available network process unit platforms which is basically not anyhow customized to us. Our competence is clearly in the ability of developing effective multi-core processors, and this is quite a challenging task to harness all co-processors effective way, and our solutions are really competitive in performance area, and we are able to get a good solution in that area. At the moment, we are having 1 gigabit and 10 gigabit connectivity, and next on way is coming multiple 10 gigabit interfaces in parallel, which are synchronized between each others. We have started also investigation towards 40 and 100 gigabit connectivity. Network elements and testing services is maybe best match to our testing solutions. We are having testing solution for IP load generation, which is following a certain specification. Besides of that, we could easily go outside of those specifications, including those denial of service type of attacks. We are not anyhow limited to certain specification or certain, let's say, operating system provided stacks. This is implemented by our own specialists, and that's the reason why we could go easily beyond these limits. Also, network emulation, realistic testing environment is extremely important. We feel that there is a lot of network services, a lot of network element testing done clearly in too optimal environment. That is causing, at the end in live network, a lot of troubles. If people could and specialists could do this in a more realistic environment, then it would clearly to be seen as a more and better stable environment at the end. Okay, let's take a look at this RUDE product, deviation emulator product. Now we are acting as a man in the middle. There is possibility to connect either 1 gigabit or 10 gigabit interfaces. First task is to trigger which part of data we are going to modify or to do this IP environment or the deviation. We can trigger this data either by, let's say, net mask or IP addresses. We can trigger this data within port numbering or certain services. And then we could hit this deviation in certain part of data. And then rest is going transparently through. And then that way it is much easier to compare these testing results to optimal services and then this challenging services, which is mirroring kind of a realistic environment from live networks. Everything is happening in real time. Product itself is causing something like a 10-20 microsecond delay, not more. And there is also possibility to bypass this data completely transparently through, and we are not touching anyhow. Then it is just 10-20 microsecond delay. There is some people are talking about IP environment, some deviation, some emulation, modification. I'm dividing this realistic environment testing to 3 different categories. First is IP packet deviation, which is more related to timing. There is delay, jitters, drop, bandwidth limitation, reorder, things like that. Or jitter without reorder, special case. Then there is also second area where we are touching data content itself. So we are doing data modification. We could effective checksum calculation. We could do data fragmentation, especially in tunneling case. This is really normal case in line network that packets are getting fragmented and it is always more challenging to end network element point of view. IP addresses we can change in real time. Port numbering. We could do a lot of things also towards security testing. And we could simulate the environment that some hackers, for example, try to get data through without charging, operator charging. That's also one testing case. Then there is a third category is provocative testing, illegal frames, some bursty data, threshold finding from a key performance indicator, or electrical or software-based line breaks. All of these things could be done in timing scale. So we could use this timing profile. We could define a period of bad state and good state. And then it is looping again all the time from bad to good, and then it is easy to check this recovery of problems. Okay, that was Rugged Deviation Emulator product really shortly from the real usage point of view. Let's take a look at this Rugged IP load generator. First, we select. Now we are talking about product which is acting as a traffic source, and we are sending data, and we have to first select how many ports and which direction we are going to send, optical, electrical environment. We have some solution for rich communication service type of data generation. It's normal SIP RTP data transmission with the VoIP clients. Data can be generated from some reference based data or really own pattern or some scripting interface data. There is a different approach available. This product can simulate millions of parallel streams, either with coming inside a specification or within illegal frames within denial of service type of aspects included in parallel. There is some special cases that we have to do real voice over IP session in order to know those parameters which are used in this sequence. And then when we know those parameters, it is much easier to attack within those parameters as a besides of denial of service attack. For example, RTP port numbering in SIP call. Accuracy is one big benefit of our technology, which we are using. Network processor unit is extremely accurate. We are clearly talking about microsecond level. We are using our own protocol stack, not anyhow operating system provided stacks, and that is also basis of our denial of service data generation. Performance is basically up to line rate One good example would be, let's say, IPv4 whole IP address range. We could loop in a few minutes, completely through. It is really capable and good environment. Yep.
How about the IPv6 address space?
IPv6 is, well, it takes a little bit longer time, but, but it is same way supported. IPv6 is, can be looped as well, but my living age is not enough to do that complete range. Okay, then as a normal testing tool, automation interface, normal way, supported, command line interface. It can be automated to bigger testing controlling system where multiple testing tools are controlled from single interface. It is not always mandatory to use graphical user interface. Well, if we think this all together, it is a good solution for cyber attack simulation. This is meaning that millions of parallel attackers can be combined in one platform up to full line rate. It is big botnet simulation. We could do a lot of various things in this area: UDP flooding, TCP SYN flooding, IP spoofing, just some examples. And it's more than clear that those types of data generation must be all the time updated and modified. And here we have this graphical user interface to do that, that kind of modification really quickly. And that way we can always trying to be in front page, yeah. Okay, today in our demonstration we are having this smaller entry platforms, this upper one. That is, let's say, with a less performance solution, not so many NPU co-processors, included less memory and less port capacity. But this below hardware is a really high-end solution, which is currently supporting. We are having in this platform 2 times 10 gigabit interface and 8 times gigabit interface. And this demonstration during the breaks, we have built this way. We have done and taken this reference session, this time just basic video, audio-video stream. We have downloaded this to Ruke product. And this stream we are multiplying with the predefined logic. This time we are just multiplying really basic way, multiplying these port numbers. And then this data is transmitted to the other product, Ruke product. And we have multiplied this to 4 parallel video, audio-video sessions. And then this Ruke product is receiving all 4 parallel streams as a completely independent session. And then we are defining those triggering points for each streams, and we are doing this packet deviation for each streams. And once this deviation is done, then we are forwarding data towards laptop, where is a really basic VLC player, freeware VLC player. And in this VLC players, we could see this end results, how this data is deviated. Okay, I think that was my presentation, and maybe next if there is questions.
Any questions?
If not, we can anyway talk in offline during the demonstration.
Yeah. Rocket Tooling will be demonstrating the setup on all or during all coffee breaks, one of which is about to start right now.
Yep.
So give a big hand. And since the presentation ended a bit early, we'll start the coffee break now, and we'll start the next session at about 1:20.